Hi everyone, this is Jason Zach from the Nathaniel School of Music. In this tutorial, we are going to look at a folk piano pattern designed for the left hand so that you can improvise in the right hand. Now, folk music is a very diverse genre. You'll have folk music from different parts of the world. Like in India itself, you'll have different kinds of folk music from Kerala to Sikkim, and in Ireland you have things like jigs and reels, and in places like Bulgaria you'll have folk music which is on polymeters, which is not even on the usual 4x4 or 6x8 time signatures that we normally learn. So to keep things organized and simple for the lesson, I'm going to pick just one chord to give you this pattern, but that one chord is going to be harmonically active. So it's not like you're only going to learn one chord. You can kind of adapt this to hopefully even a pop song or a rock song, or reinvent, or just play your favorite song in this way. And I think it is possible, from a nursery rhyme to even more complicated songs. So we'll keep it simple with just one chord as a base. We'll take D major. D major chord comes from the D major scale, which is a preferred folk scale by most musicians, especially string players like guitar, banjo, mandolin, and even flute, whistle, violin players like D, and maybe even G and A. So we'll pick D as the bass, and we'll take a D major chord in its root position to start off with, which is D, F sharp, A, D. And we are going to develop the pattern pretty much around that, and we are not going to go out of 4/4, but we will use some interesting beat divisions, 16th notes, which will divide by 4. We'll have some gaps, and I'll scale up the pattern. I'll start you off with a very simple pattern that you can use for any song. Trust me, pretty much any song. You just have to work on the independence to get this pattern with that melody. So get your keyboards out, get your books out also. You can write it along, or you can download my handwritten notes on Patreon. That will also help support the channel. You can become a member for as low as $5 a month and take it from there. You can do workshops at our school. You get discounts for our courses and a lot more. And also there's a subscribe button somewhere there. Don't forget to hit it if you like the lesson, of course, or maybe you can hit it now and decide later. Okay, so let's get cracking. So the first pattern I have for you, it's also notated on Patreon. I'll play it and then teach. So your pinky is toggling between D, E, D, and it's holding E, dum, ba, da, 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 and the rest of the notes, da, 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 D, octave A, F sharp A, D, dum, da, 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 dum, da, 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 dum, di, 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 dum. So you could stick to this till you get comfortable. Maybe play, I guess, the best song ever written. But no harmonic flavor yet, no? So that's where the other variation came in. So that's D and F sharp paired as a third, E and G paired as a third. So you vary E, D, three blind mice. Okay, that's the basic pattern. Now to support this pattern with some harmony, you can, at the beat 1 and at the beat 3, instead of playing it as single D, you can support it with F sharp. So lot more thicker, and a lot more banjo-like. You can play things as a dyad together, and then break it out with a more arpeggiated roll. So earlier pattern was single notes. Now we are adding the dyad. This dyad and this dyad. Dyad means two notes, generally a third. Then put it together. Put it together. Vary the dynamics as well. Try to get it a bit slow. Okay, this is pattern 1, either to be played without the dyad, with the dyad. So pattern 2 is a small modification. I'll play it and then teach it. Some anticipation there. So I'm landing not at the 3, but at the of the 2, and a 2E and These are all string patterns. You could play it on a finger-style guitar or a banjo, and it'll sound very natural, I guess. With the dyad. Start with single notes in the right hand, or just sing a long note. That singing also helps. So start with long notes, like just minims. Now I'm sure you're observing it is kind of working with a lot of melodies, the random ones which I'm just coming out with, but it doesn't sound harmonically dense yet. Now I don't want to complicate things further. I don't want to give you some major nines or sharp 11s and make it too jazzy. Rather, why not just use diatonic thirds to just float around the harmony? And what's happening is the fifth and the octave are always going to be on top. So they won't, it is not going to sound like a drone if you float the third. See, we are already floating it between D and E. So D's third is F sharp, E's third is G. But let's float it a bit more. So what are the thirds of D major scale? First of all, D to F sharp, E to G, F sharp to A, G to B, A to C sharp, B to D, C sharp to E, and then finally D to F sharp. So do whatever you can do in order to keep the A and D consistent. So E to G. Now how do I go up? I can go F sharp AD, which is D over F sharp. Now go climb up further. Proper G major. I like this chord. This is like an A major add 4. Now you could do B minor like this, but you can also do it with the low B if you can stretch, or you can avoid it. 5, 4, 3, degree 3, degree 2, 1. Maybe even the 7 if you can stretch. Or the 5 is as good as the 7. So to make things easy, I have an exercise notated for you. You can get it on our Patreon, where I play D, E, F sharp, G, A, G, F sharp, E. The first 5 degrees. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Maybe pattern 2. That's pattern 2, but with the thirds floating. Ma, re, ga, ma, pa, ma, ga, re, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, ma, ga, re. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, downtown mama, oh, take me home. Country road. So when you float the thirds, there's a lot more character. There's a lot of harmony to a point. You don't even need your right hand for harmony. You can use your right hand exclusively for melody. And maybe in the initial stages, this is going to be a bit challenging for your left hand, because normally when we play left hand for accompaniment, we tend to just use the root and octave, or a max of 3 fingers. In this case, you'll have to use all your 5, including the ring. There's no escaping all the 5. So take regular breaks. This can be pretty much a physical workout for the left hand as well. So if you want to train, if you want to use this exercise just to develop your left hand, that should work. And just to cap things off and give you some fuel for future folk music activities on the piano, if you just think of the drum groove of the song, or if you just think of the time feel of the music, let's say you're playing something like a triplet feel, you know, dum tak ta dig ta tak dum tak ta dig ta tak ta tak ta tak ta tak ta tak. So you're dividing the beat by 3. You can use the same ecosystem, the same set of notes, the same set of thirds, but in this new division feel, or this new time feel, which is dividing by 3. There we go. Okay, or maybe a 6/8 feel. So that's a 6/8 feel. Works for things like So you have to kind of explore this depending on, based on whatever music you're playing, even if it's an odd time signature, like let's say 5/8. I'm phrasing it as 2/3. And so on. I can pretty much go on and on, but I just remember that this is a YouTube lesson, so I have to stop at some point. So if you'd like to learn this a bit further, if you'd like to develop more of these techniques, do check out some of our folk music lessons. I've taught a lot of folk music, because I'm from a country which plays a lot of varied folk music. So as a piano player, you have to survive with all the other actual authentic folk instruments out there, like the sitar, the veena, the flute and violin and so on. So to compete or to even survive with such people, you need to basically understand what they do. And what I like to tell people when it comes to the piano is, a piano is a chameleon of an instrument. Its job is to always borrow or copy or steal, if you want to use that word, from all the other instruments out there. There is no one way or one fixed way to do things on this instrument. It can morph into any world. You can think one day exclusively as a drummer. On another day, you can think exclusively like a bass player. You can think like an accordion player, or uh, a guitar player, or in this case, I would say a banjo or a mandolin kind of player. If you want to do the thirds, diads together with the arpeggio, I think you're entering into that territory. So listen to a lot of music, and don't only find music that has the piano. Don't only find music that is popular as per the algorithms out there. So try to look at music from a holistic perspective, in the sense you want to grow as a musician. The piano should be looked at as an instrument that learns from everyone. You learn from the vocal, you learn from the drums. So that's the best way to learn the piano, in my opinion. So check out some of the related videos in our description. Do leave us a like and comment, and let me know what you thought about the lesson. Give us some suggestions for a few more as well. And I will catch you in the next one. Cheers. Thank you.